Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar from Vegas Sense. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I have a new clone of Louis Vuitton Stellar Times. This is going to be from the house of Lattafa. This is going to be Musamam White Intense. All right. So do me a favor, go ahead and stick around for the whole video. And if you're brand new to the channel, also do me a favor and subscribe, and also leave a like and a comment on the video. All right. So this is going to be the second iteration, at least from what I understand, in the Musamam series from Lataffa. The first one, I don't know if that one was actually a clone of anything, but this is labeled as a clone of Louis Vuitton Stellar Times. So haven't smelled that particular fragrance. Do absolutely plan to get a sample of that fragrance to do like a comparison video with. But in this video, we're just going to be going over my sort of first impressions in terms of how this particular fragrance smells. All right. So as you can see, man, the outside of this sort of cylinder tube, it's like this sort of textured snake skin. It looks really nice, and it feels pretty nice as well. You have this sort of sticker down here that has Lattafa and Musamam on it. And you've got the Lattafa authenticity sticker here as well. On the top, you've got the Lattafa logo and Musamam as well. And then on the bottom, you've got the concentration, bottle size, ingredients, stuff like that. All right. And then pretty much this fragrance, it opens up like that. All right. And so the fragrance sits in here. Take this out. And this is a very unique, but I would say pretty beautiful looking bottle. So you've got this sort of gold cap here with like the gold snake that wraps around it. And then you've got the sort of like snake skin kind of sticker at the top here. So you've got that, and then you've got the name of the fragrance here in Lattafa at the bottom. So Musamam White Intense. And then you've got the Lattafa sticker down here at the bottom. All right. So this cap, it comes off like this. All right. And then the sprayer is okay. It shoots out pretty far, but the distribution is not really that wide. Now, in terms of how this smells, this is a pretty simplistic sort of smell and fragrance, in my opinion. This is also another one of those sort of Jacques Cavalier sort of fragrances that don't really have too many notes in them. That's definitely one thing that I noticed with a lot of his fragrances. Seems like his fragrances seem to have a really sort of simplistic note breakdown. So in this fragrance, you get orange blossom, you get amber, and you get woody notes. And the orange blossom, I would say, is pretty much, that's the main thing that I smell when I first spray this on. It smells kind of like the orange blossom that you get in fragrances like Love Don't Be Shy or Rolling in Love by Killian. It has a similar sort of vibe to that, in my opinion, which I think sort of makes this, even though this is kind of marketed technically as like a unisex type of scent, I think that this is going to be a fragrance that's more so on like the feminine leaning side, just in my opinion. I'll have to actually get some wearings in of this particular fragrance, on my skin. I just got this fragrance in today, so I'm not really going to be going over any sort of performance or anything like that. But just in terms of what you get with this, what I can say is the quality on this, it does smell pretty decent. One thing that I've seen from other people who have actually, done videos on YouTube of the original Louis Vuitton Stellar Times, one thing that they've sort of said about this particular fragrance is, despite the fact that you're paying like $400 or $500 or so for a bottle of Stellar Times, the quality of it doesn't really seem to match up with the price. So at least what I'm hoping is this is pretty much on par with the quality of that particular fragrance, and it's a fragrance that you can pick up for a much lower price. All right. Obviously, I'm not expecting this to, be like a one-to-one clone in terms of, the quality and everything like that. I do think that this is probably going to be even lower quality than what Stellar Times is. But let's hope that this ends up being about, 90 to 95%. Because I think for anyone that actually likes this sort of scent profile, that'll be a huge win for them. I was able to pick this one up, I believe, for like around $50 or so on fragbar.com. And I'll have a link in the description for you to pick this up. But yeah, man, I mean, pretty much what I get from this is in the opening, you just get sort of like this sweet, kind of soapy at the same time, sort of orange blossom note. And then I would say as it starts to dry down, you do sort of get like this kind of sparkly sort of amber that mixes in with the orange blossom. But the orange blossom, it kind of adds, like I said, sort of like a sweet sort of soapiness to the fragrance. And there's also a slightly sort of woody undertone to the fragrance as well. Now, in terms of what I'm kind of getting in terms of performance from this, even though this does seem to be a little bit on like the softer side, this does seem to have pretty decent sort of, staying power. Not really a super beast mode projector, at least so far from what I can see, but it does seem to have pretty decent longevity, at least so far. I have this fragrance sprayed on a tester strip, and it's been on here for about 7 hours now. And it still does have a pretty decent amount of strength, I would say, after, 7 hours. I'm not really picking up on too much of the orange blossom in the fragrance anymore. I'm definitely picking up on, definitely more so just like the amber, and I would say even more so now just pretty much woods for the most part. And like I said, it's been about 7 hours or so since I've sprayed this on. I haven't worn this actually on skin as of yet. So I'll have a report on that, and also, how close this is to Stellar Times once I can get my hands on a sample of that particular fragrance. But so far, like I said, this does seem to have pretty decent longevity, and I would say probably about moderate or so projection. So if you're looking for a sort of, soapy, clean, slightly sweet, ambery, woody type of fragrance, then I would say absolutely look into this particular fragrance. In my opinion, this is going to lean slightly on the feminine side. Like I said, it is kind of marketed as a unisex scent, but at least to me, and I mean, again, I'll have to get, a few wearings in on this fragrance before I can really say whether or not, in my opinion, it is 100% feminine leaning or not. At least from what I'm smelling from this fragrance, it does seem to smell like a more sort of feminine leaning type of fragrance. All right. So again, this is going to be Musamam White Intense by Lattafa. This is one of their newest releases. So if you're interested in what Louis Vuitton Stellar Times smells like, check this one out. And also to anyone that has smelled this fragrance and also has smelled Stellar Times by Louis Vuitton, definitely leave me a comment below to let me know how close you think this actually comes to Stellar Times by Louis Vuitton. All right. Also, again, anyone that's brand new to this channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like the content that you see on this channel. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.